Welcome back to One More Pool. In today's video, we are going back to the MTG Arena. I did it again. I had already reached Mythic again, but this time around, I'm using the 4-color Reanimator deck. In this video, I'll show you the exact deck that I used to climb to Mythic. I will also explain my game plan and the Mulligan guides. And at the end of the video, I will show a couple of gameplay, or rather I'll call it matches, to let you see how the deck actually works. Right. Without further ado, let's go to the deck list. Okay. Unlike the previous MTG Arena video that I published, which is the Rakdos deck, this 4-color Reanimator deck is more of a mid-range combo deck. So it's not a deck that I tried to win within the first few turns. The Reanimator deck is all about putting all the big size creature into the graveyard and then reanimate them back into the battlefield right after that. Okay, so this time around it will be less aggressive, and usually from my experience climbing to Mythic, most of the games are won straight away when I just reanimate all my minions back. Right. Of course, there are matches that I have to fight a couple of battles. Right. So this is a 4-color decks, and I don't really have much experience playing 4 colors for the start. So the mana base is very important, and at the first few matches, it can be quite difficult to get a hang of how to work with all the manas, right? So basically, these are all the cards that I've used in my 4-color Reanimator deck. Again, I did not build this from scratch. I copied it from one of the MTG Arena tier lists. So let's go with a couple of all these key cards, right? Okay, we'll go one by one here. So basically, Town Critter is important. I usually like to keep it on my hands during the Mulligan phase, because it gives a small thing in the early games, and it also, upon milling cards, I get to put things into the graveyard and I get to pull out mana from there. So it is a win-win situation for me. And then after that, Awaken the Honored Dead is very optional keep. I don't usually keep, and sometimes I would discard it if I did any mulligans. Formidable Speaker is a must keep card if you see it on your hand. Basically, what it does is it throws one of your cards into the graveyard, and then you get to tutor for a creature card that you want. And usually what players for Reanimator that will tutor the most important card, which is this one, the bringer of the last gift, right? Kiora is also another card that usually we don't actually keep in the early games, because draws 2 cards, discard 2 cards. So it's not a winning card. I mean, but it is good when you desperately need to drop something into the graveyard. Then you play this. You get to draw things and play this as well. Okay. Superior Spider-Man is one of the most important cards, if not second most important. Basically, what it does is it copies the bringer of the last gift, and then once you copy this card from the graveyard, it triggers the ability and the ability of Bringer, and then it brings all the creatures from your graveyard into the battlefield. Right. This is the card that usually I will use Formidable Speaker to tutor for this card. Right. Then next, Overlord is also usually the card that not the core cards that I would keep if I see it on my hands. But then the thing good about Overlord is at turn 2 I'm able to actually play this card, and I will be able to throw in 4 cards into the graveyard, and if I ever pick up any, if there is any creature card, I can actually pick them and pull it to my hands, right? Terror of the Peaks is one of the cards that you hardly can play it from your hand because it is a card that requires Mountain, and if you see my mana base, I don't have Mountain except for Cavern of Souls if I choose Dragon as my creature type, and I need 2 as well, which means I have to draw 2 Cavern of Souls in order to play Terror of Peaks from my hand, and that's a very rare case. But I did have at least one of the games throughout my ladder climb that I actually played 2 Cavern of Souls, where I selected Dragon as the creature type and play Terror of Peaks from my hand. It does happen, right? Wistfulness is good. Sometimes a good keep as well, because at turn 2 I can cycle cards, and also I can use 2 forests to actually destroy, or rather exile, artifacts and enchantment. Those enchantments or artifacts that are what do you call it? They are very important to the opponent, right? Deceit is not the kind of cards that are very effectively being used, but then in some of the matches where your opponent don't have much cards on hand, or you're playing against a counter spell opponent, you can actually trigger the 2 blacks to actually try to review their hand and see if they have counter spells or not. And if they, I mean, it's not a pure lose. Even they counter this card, then you know that they have counter spell and they have used 1, right? Bringer of the Last Gift is the one that I previously just mentioned, and I don't always have to play by using Spider-Man to copy, but I could also play it from my hand, but I will need at least 8 manas to do it. I mean, there are games that drag until 8 mana for me to play this from my hand, and but most of the games I usually play from using Superior Spider-Man to copy this card. Okay. Ardyn the Usurper is one of the cards that helps you to gain mana and attack immediately once at the beginning of every combat. This is one of the better cards as well that I wish to have throughout during mid games to end games, but it is not the kind of critical cards that you would want to have. So those cards that I mentioned, not too critical, which means during the mulligan phase, if you mulligan once or twice, you could actually just discard them to put it into the back of the deck, right? As for the mana base, I previously run all tap lands and shock lands, but after a couple of games, there are some decks that destroy all these rare lands where I have the opportunity to draw any basic lands and put into the game, which I couldn't do so I have swap out some of the shock lands and tap lands to some of these basic lands, so that I get to play some lands, so that I don't fall behind in terms of mana. And among all the lands, one of the ones that I wanted to highlight is Cavern of Souls. Cavern of Souls is important because any spells that you cast using Cavern of Souls, it cannot be countered, right? So which means that this is a very effective card against blue deck, because you you can safely play Superior Spider-Man on turn 4 if you have this card without being afraid that it's gonna get countered. So basically, these are all the decks. These are all the cards in my deck. And during Mulligan phase, what I try to look here is I try to have at least three land cards, 2 to 3 land cards. 2 is a bit too little. I try to have at least 3 land cards, and I try to have cards like Town Greeter, Formidable Speaker, and even if I have a Bringer of the Last Gift, I would want to have it on my hand as well, because I can easily cycle any of these cards. I can easily cycle this into the graveyard with Wistfulness, Formidable Speaker, and yeah. So it's not a bad thing to have this on hand, and in fact it is a good thing because you are able to quickly reanimate as early as turn 4. So what I actually my kind of a dream play is basically on turn 1 I will just play any tap lands, and on turn 2 I play Town Greeter, draw another land. Turn 3 Formidable Speaker, throw in Bringer of the Last Gift and Tutor for Spider-Man, and then turn 4 play Spider-Man, reanimates everything. This is one of the kind of the best gameplay that you could have, and you would be able to win game easily from here. Okay. The challenge of Reanimator deck is when you're playing against opponents that exile your library. That's the one that you have hard time fighting the game to win that. Right. So I think that is pretty much what I want to highlight on the deck. I think I covered the game plan, the key cards, and also the Mulligan. So let's go in and play a couple of games and see how it fared. Right. We'll play the ladder game, we'll play the Mythic level game, and we'll see if the whole thing still works now. Standard, rank, Reanimator V1. Here we go. So after this 4-color Reanimator deck, I'm actually looking forward to start playing best of 3 games in the ladder. Okay, so this is not really a bad hand. I mean, I have Wistfulness to throw in Bringer into the graveyard. I have these 2 Overlord to help me draw Spider-Man by throwing them into the grave. The only thing now I don't have is Town Greeter to get me more mana, or Formidable Tutor to get Spider-Man. So I just need to be able to find Spider-Man, and I should be good after that. Alright, mana base is fine as well. There's Forest, Island, and Swamp. Alright, let's go. Okay, always play the one that needs to tap first, and players has tap. So I save 2 life from here. Okay, it's a green, it's a forest deck. Yes, look at this. This is so good. We're gonna throw in Overlord, then turn 3 we play Formidable Speaker, and then we play, hopefully we can play Spider-Man on turn 4, but that provides we got enough mana here. Right now we are lacking of 1 more mana. That's why getting Town Greeter is very important. Alright, so in this case I don't even need to use Formidable Speaker to tutor for Spider-Man. I don't even need to throw this into the grave. I just need more lands. So in this case, I would change my plan. I'm gonna play Wistfulness and try to cycle for land. Oh no, I have it. Okay. So right now, since I have sufficient lands to play Spider-Man, what I try to do next turn is to try to reduce damage taken. Right. So to do this, I have to play the Formidable Speaker so that I can block the attack to reduce damage. So if I survive this turn, I should be able to win the game. Okay, I was wrong. Guess we have to do this again. Is there any benefit if I cycle for cards? I think there's some use, at least I have more cards inside the graveyard. This is the kind of situation from hero to zero. Okay, so basically we have no chance to win here. I'm gonna be honest, we're gonna lose this game. But I'll just stay in the game to see, just to see how long I'm gonna last. Alright. Officially, I think my opponent is trying to toy around with me. I'm going to save ourselves some time. We'll just move on to the next game. Not a very good one. I thought I got this. We'll try one more. I mean, we'll try a couple of games more. I mean, when I say one more, as I'm actually referring to, we'll try to win one more. Alright. Poorly spoken. Let's see what we are getting this time. Okay, we have 3 lands. We have Town Greeter. We have Bring of the Last Key. But we don't have Tutor, we don't have Spider-Man. But it is still playable. Forest again. Okay. Let's hope we don't end up like just the last game. It was a nightmare. Well, it is a different opponent at least. Yay! Okay, next turn, Formidable Speaker throw in the bring out the last gift, then we pick Spider-Man. And we hope this time we don't screw up. No, we screw up. Okay, what we're trying to do here is we need to force this to exile my graveyard, so that I can move on. Alright, so I need 2 greens. I have 1 green and I have another green here, which is good. Okay, let's do this again. We have to use Formidable Speaker now to... Ouch. This has trample, this don't have trample, so I could reduce 3 damage here. But this has double strike. I may not be able to survive. I'm gonna be honest here. Okay. Alright. I will say good game here. Alright, let's not waste time. What's gonna happen is he's gonna exile my library. I have nothing to play. And not only that, he have the potential to... He has the potential to actually kill me off this turn. We'll let him do the order to kill us. I've lost 2 games in a row. Okay, so we've been losing to opponents that exile our cards. So this is actually one of the biggest problems when I play the Reanimator deck. Opponents that often exile my graveyard, I always have almost 0% of winning the game. Okay, so in this hand, in terms of game plan, I have Wistfulness to actually toss Bringer of the Last Gift into the grave. I will do it in turn 3 because I do not want to put it too early, so that he has the chance to plan ahead to exile my library, my graveyard first. And I got sufficient lands to actually play Spider-Man after that. Right. So let's keep. It's a good keep for this kind of a hand. Okay, let's try to play... Okay, I'm gonna play Overgrown first, because on turn 2 I want to use Deceit to actually try to discard his card. So next turn I'll play Gloomlake, and then I want to go Deceit. Then on my turn 3, I will throw in Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool to throw in the Bringer. Okay, this has nothing to do with my grave. This has nothing to do with my grave. And this has nothing to do with my grave. So we just throw in this. Okay, so remember that when you reanimate from your grave, you also reanimate from your opponent's grave. So don't throw big things there. Ouch. Do you see this? This is bad. The Ghost Vacuum is going to exile the card from my graveyard. Again, I thought that I have a winning hand. So I need to take these two down. One way is I can use Wistfulness to take one down. Then I have to use Awaken of the On attack. Okay, I'm just checking my mana here. This is a must go. And then I'll go with this first. To be honest, I don't think I'm able to survive the next turn after this. If I throw in Reanimator. No, I don't. Okay. Alright, next turn when he comes all to me, I'll be dead anyway. So it doesn't really matter if I remove this or not. I guess you must be questioning me, how did I get to Mythic with this deck? Well, to be honest, it wasn't like this when I was doing the ladder climbing. But who knows, maybe this is just how all the Mythic players play. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue. We have like 3 losses in a row today. Right. Okay. For this round, it's not a very good hand. We have all the cycling cards, but we do not have the 2 key cards that key core cards that we need for this deck. But I'm still keeping anyway because I'm able to play I'm able to play on turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Right. 4 games in a row. Okay, I thought I have a better decks, a better match to showcase here. So this last game that we played is an example of a bad hand, right? Okay, we have okay, so this particular deck we still could go with it. The main reason because I have Formidable Speaker here. On the second turn, I may not be able to play this effectively, but I could use it to destroy any enchantment or artifact. Else, I will just play Overlord to actually throw cards into the grave. Hopefully, I will throw in something useful. Wow, this is embarrassing. We'll do one more last game. At least one of the objectives that I managed to fulfill is to run through the decks, run through the mulligans, and run through my game plans, right? But I just don't get to win, and that's just how it is, right? Okay, we don't have Bringer, but we have Spider-Man. I'll keep this. Probably if I were to review back all my gameplays, I could have mulliganed some of the game better. Oh, it's a blue this time. So I'm gonna throw in Bringer. I'm actually hoping to get Caverns, the land, so that I can counter against counter spell. Okay, so it's important that we're gonna pretend that we do not have Spider-Man here. So we're just gonna play Overlord. So you would think that I have at least another turn to get my Spider-Man. Then I can play Spider-Man now. I should be able to win this time. Well, I just need to calculate the mana properly. I need a blue and a black. Blue, black. I've got my blue and black. Okay. Usually opponent will concede. Okay, so at least I get to showcase at least one time how this deck works. I mean, it is embarrassing that I have lost all the games before I get to show it that one time. There it is. This is the 4-color Reanimator deck. If you have been looking for fun deck which I actually normally would call this a more fun deck than the Rakdos deck. Apparently the last few games wasn't that fun. You should actually give it a try. Right, I'm going to start playing other decks, but I'm going to play around the EZ color base or Jeskai, because those two are my favorite color, the blue and the red, right? And I hope to get to Mythic again with that, with my upcoming new deck. So thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one.